Tell you, it never ends. I went to Brooklyn to visit my friend Danny. On the way back, I bought a ticket in Brooklyn to go to home on the Long Island Railroad, okay, where you would stop at Jamaica, and then after that, you just stay on the train. So in Jamaica, they came around and I showed them my stub. It wasn't a stub, it was like a receipt, and no problem. And the next thing I know, they say you got to stop in Hicksville and switch over to another train. I go, because they were doing work on the tracks, they said. So I couldn't find my ticket. What happens is I stuck my ticket in the receipt in my pocket, and it had the money in there. And then I decided to take everything out of my pocket. I stuck it in my wallet and put it in my jacket. So I get to Hicksville, and the guy asked me for the ticket. I says, I don't really have it. I says, I didn't know how to show it. I says, I didn't know how to make all these switchovers. Usually it's one ticket, and you go right to Ronkonkoma. He believed me, nice guy. So then, as we're riding, I'm going, you know what? I don't want him to think I'm a deadbeat. I start searching all my pockets, then I find it in my wallet. I go, son of a bitch, because when I stuck it in the pocket, it went in between my bills. So I went looking for the guy. I walked like 3 cars, and I finally found him. I go, listen, I just want you, do you remember me? He goes, yeah, who could forget you? You have your red jacket on. I go, I found the stub. He goes, you didn't have to do that. I believed you. I go, let me just show it to you. So I give it to him. I go, I don't want you to think I'm a deadbeat, man, I said. So he was laughing. Then we were talking. I was telling him how concerts, when it's crowded in the trains, they can't, people go on there and you can't even collect their tickets. There's too many people. But I never got the ticket back from him because I thought I was going straight to Ronkonkoma. Next thing you know, Babylon, got to make a switch over, another train. So now this guy comes out to me, a conductor, and he says, you got your ticket? I go, no, listen. I had it, and I gave it to this guy, one of the conductors, after he thought I didn't pay, but I don't have it on me now. And he goes, well, then you got to pay $20 again. I go, listen, I'm not paying you $20 again. I said, this is ridiculous, I says. So he goes, well, I'll tell you what, I'll charge you $4 just for the trip to Ronkonkoma because it wasn't the full length. And I'm still telling him, I says, you're out of your mind. I says, why don't you just call up the guy in the other train from Hicksville? He goes, I can't do that right now. I go, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the $4 just to get rid of the aggravation because I just want to get home, man. It's a long ride. So he had no change, and I only had a 10 on me in 20s. So I gave him 10. I go, here, take the 10, and just let me go my way. And then this one guy jumps up, why don't you leave him alone? So I thought he was saying that to the conductor to leave me alone, but he wasn't. He was telling me to leave the conductor alone. So I finally I said, are you talking to me now? He goes, yeah. I said, listen, sit down, son. I always use that language. He goes, I'm not your son. I go, well, I'm your fucking daddy, and you don't want to fuck with daddy. So he jumps up and he takes his jacket off. And he's going to charge at me. I said, you don't want to make that mistake. I said, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not even going to swing on you. I said, you could hit me the first shot, but after that, I'm going to swat you down like a fly. So the whole car, the people in the car, they were fucking laughing. I go, listen, man, I says, you're going to be like that guy on that bus, that 67-year-old veteran that smacked the shit out of that 30-year-old kid. He goes, well, I'm not a kid. I go, I know, you're a child. I says, and I'm your fucking daddy. So he tried to get me, but 2 conductors grabbed him, and they were holding him back. And his own girlfriend or wife, whatever she was saying, cut it out, sit down, sit down. And I told him, I says, I'm 59, but I've been fucking boxing for 30 years, and I still train. I said, you got no shot, man. So they were holding him, and he was going nuts. I says, come on, son, sit down. So anyway, the guy that wanted the money from me that I gave a $10 bill to, and I said, keep the change. He goes, can you do me a favor? What's your name? I go, Riley. He goes, can you walk with me? I want to take you to a different car. I go, I'll go wherever you want to go. I don't want no altercation with this fucking idiot. So He walks me all the way to the front car where the conductor is, and they actually have a flip-down seat like they do in the planes, you know, where the stewardess sit. A small one. He goes, "Do you mind if you sit here till the train goes to Ronkonkoma?" I go, "No problem at all." I says, "I don't want to have an altercation with this asshole." I said, "First of all, I'll knock the shit out of him." Then I told him, "Why don't you call the 6th precinct and ask them about my integrity? They'll tell you that I'm not a fucking fair jumper, a beater, whatever they have." So we're driving, and he's still talking, the guy. He was still fucking talking shit. He told me, the guy, he was laughing. I says, this guy has no idea what I would have done to him. I says, I would have dropped him like a fucking fly. So he goes, "You're very nice." I says, "No, it's not a problem. It's just that these punks think they could kick ass on fucking older people." But he had no clue. He was about 175 pounds, maybe 5'9", maybe 5'10". And I'm looking at him, and he he rip it off, took his jacket off, ready to go. So, and I told him, I says, here's my license, here's this. I said, "But why can't you find out that I paid that ticket?" I said, "You got to know the other conductors." It was on the Hicksville train, the switchover. So anyway, when I get to the fucking Ronkonkoma, he said, "Could you mind if you go off on this side, and I'll have the guy go off the other side?" So my side was the back parking lot, so it wasn't where the front, where the fucking stores are and stuff. And that's where normally my son picks me up. So now I'm out by I sit on a fucking curb now, and I'm fucking freezing my balls off. And I'm thinking, my son will drive around, he'll find me. But he didn't, and then I kept trying to get up. But once I'm on the ground, I'm on a curb, I kept trying to get up. I couldn't, because I'm a fucking cripple. But anyway, I fucking finally got so fucking, I tried 5 times. The 6th time I had to do a roll. I didn't want to roll over with my jacket on and shit, and my new red jacket. I rolled over to spin up to get up. That's it. But this guy doesn't know. The conductor saved his fucking ass, because somebody would have filmed it. A 59-year-old guy beating the shit out of a fucking 30-year-old. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. But they were laughing. I couldn't believe it. He had nothing. I asked him, "Are you the conductor police?" I told the guy, "Please, I know you know the conductors. Just find out," and he'll tell you I gave him the ticket, and I didn't know I needed it again. I says, otherwise he should have just said, "Here, have it back." But he was a nice guy. He trusted me. Here, you shook me down for $4, but I gave you 10 as a tip, man. So he was laughing, whatever. I said, "I know you were just doing your job." But that's another incident, man. These young fuckers want to fuck with old people. Fuck them.